Are you smart enough to ace a Groo quiz? Well, if you're smart enough to read Groo the Wanderer, you're probably not. Hi, I'm Darren, these are my hands, and this is GrooTube, where we appreciate the art of Aragonés. Today, I'm going to take Magnus Lindgren's Groo the Wanderer Quiz, and I want you to take it with me. Unfortunately, while Magnus's website still serves up the quiz, it doesn't give the answers anymore. That's the internet for you. Things break. So, after we take the quiz, we're going to look up the answers. Even though I'm going to answer the quiz in this video, I'll be sure to give you time to shout out your answers so you can play along too. I'll put a link to the quiz in the description, but all the questions will be on the screen so you can play along with me. All right, let's go. Okay, let the fun begin. Magnus Lindgren's Groo quiz. Question number 1. Who was the first main character to appear in Groo #1 Pacific Comics? Well, that was Groo, right? Minstrel didn't show up until Epic. Chakal shows up later in the series. Tyranno was there. Unless he's trying to trick us, it's Groo. Okay, question number 2. What is the name of the captain whose ships Groo constantly keeps sinking? That's Ajax. Ahab, Ajax, Ajax, Amax. Yeah, good. Who draws Groo? Sergio does. Not Mark, not Tom, not Stan. Who writes Groo? Ooh, is that a trick question? Sergio writes Groo. Mark Evanier sometimes helps, but it's Sergio who writes Groo. He comes up with the stories, except for on the odd occasion when Mark does. Mark does other stuff. What does Mark do? We don't know. Who letters Groo? Sergio, Mark, Tom, or Stan? Of course Stan does. And who colors Groo? Tom does. Almost always, but there have been a scant few that were colored by other folks. Which character is Groo in love with? Chakal, Bunta, Princess Letessa, Thais? Well, it'd be weird if it was Thais because he met her when she was just a little girl. Bunta, Chakal, Princess Letessa. Well, I think we just know that it's Chakal. What was the name of the issue that started the hidden message tradition? I don't know. The Song of Groo. I think that's the first epic one, so no. World Without Women. I know that's number 4. Seems to be a little early. Slavers, Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Is that the one where Groo's invisible? That's like way, way along the way. Slavers? That sounds about right to me. Early enough, but not super early. In what number does Groo receive the company of his loyal dog Referto? Epic 1, 28, 29, or 42? Not in number 1, not in 42, 28 or 29. And I think it was like a 2-comic miniseries where Referto shows up. And unless Magnus is trying to fool us, I guess it would have to be 28. That sounds right too. Part 1 and Part 2. That's what I think it is. 28, I think, is the answer. Which of the following names are not a brother or sister of Referto? Uh-oh. Okay. Arfetto, for sure. He is one. Molfetta? Chafetto? Moretta? I don't know. I don't think it's Moretta. That sounds like the odd one out. There's no f sound in it. Arfetto, Chafetto, Molfetta, Moretta. Odd one out. That's the one. Not a brother or sister. Groo once married. What was the name of the bride? Chakal, Bunta, Princess Letessa, Silva. Chakal? Huh. Only in Groo's dreams. I know Silva. She was in the Death of Groo. Bunta. I know it's Bunta. Someone once liked Groo that much that she kissed him. Who erred? I know that one too. Silva, from the Death of Groo, thought that Groo was a real stand-up kind of guy, and she gave him a little kiss on the cheek. Question number 13. Groo eventually learned to read. Who taught him? Uh-oh. The Sage? Books from the Villanova Library? Abecedario? The Minstrel? Okay, I'm all right. I don't have issue number 100 where Groo learns to read. I've read it, but I don't own it. It wasn't magical, so it wasn't the books from the library. Minstrel wasn't around, so it wasn't the minstrel. The sage, I think it was Abecedario. I think that there was he was trapped in a cave with a ton of treasure. That's it. And Abecedario taught him how to read, and then later Groo used the treasure to save the library or rebuild the library or something. Abecedario. In epic number 50, Groo asks Chacal if she will marry him. What does Chacal's reply? Groo, you fly brain. Yes, shut up and slay. I would rather be trampled to death by rabid elephants, Groo. Well, we know it's not yes. Groo, you fly brain presumes Groo has a brain. Shut up and slay. I think that's it. I would rather be trampled to death by rabid elephants, Groo, is more funny, though. Oh, shut up and slay, trampled to death. I think it's shut up and slay, but I'm going to go with trampled to death because I think that's funnier, and that's probably the right answer. Question number 15. In what issue did Melissa appear, and could she read? Uh-oh. Who's Melissa? 26, 26, 27, 28. Oh, and yes, she could read. No, she couldn't read. Yes, she could read. No, she couldn't read. Oh, I don't know. There's a 50% chance I get it right if I pick issue 26. Who's Melissa? Oh no. They're going to take away my Groo Club badge. I'm going to say 26 and no, she couldn't read. That's a total guess. Question number 16. What is epic number 17 the last and only remnant of? National Fish Month? The Piranha Club? A collaboration between Marvel Comics? Nothing. Okay, if my memory serves, the cover of this has Groo leaping out of the water, being eaten by a ton of fish that all have that Referto coloring in spots. I think that's the issue. What is it the last and only remnant of, though? National Fish Month? That doesn't sound like something that would be in a Groo comic. The Piranha Club? That also doesn't sound right. A collaboration between Marvel Comics? No, nothing. Those two don't seem right. That's not it. Nothing. I don't know. Process of elimination? Nothing. What does the Groo family name mean? Question number 17. I know this. The cattle are dying. Yep, with mind and body. Cultivator of land. Nothing. We learn this in The Life of Groo. Groo's dad tells us the cattle are dying is our proud family name. Question number 18. In whose army is Groo serving when he receives his swords? Fuchikakas? Sakisamas? King Casablists? Tarantos? Well, Taranto has a gang, not an army. King Casabist shows up later on. Fuchikaka and, Sakisama. In whose army is Groo serving? We're not looking for the general, we're looking for the emperor. I think. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Oh no, they're really going to take away my Groo Club badge now. I can't remember who the general is and who the emperor is. Fuchikaka or Sakisama? I think Sakisama is the emperor. So it'd be his army? He owns the army, not the general. I'm going to say that's the answer. Okay. Question number 19. From who did Groo receive his pouch and skull that he wears in his belt? I know this. We just covered it not too long ago. From his father. Not from Fuchikaka, not from the sage, not from Taranto, but from his father. What happens with the house Groo was born in? It burns down on the spot. It burns down on the spot. It burns down on the spot. I think it's number 4. It burns down on the spot. Yeah. Groo says you are a sapper. Are you a sapper? Yes. No. I'm a surfer. What a stupid question this is. The answer is yes. If Groo says you're a sapper, you are a sapper or you're dead. All right. Let's check out our answers. Well, maybe I didn't ace it, but that's okay. Let's look up the answers. We'll find out how we did. First question, who is the first main character to appear in Groo the Wanderer? PC number 1. Well, Groo's on the front cover. Groo's on the inside cover. Sergio's there. And right here on the splash page, Groo the Wanderer, first character to appear. Taranto doesn't show up until page 4. Second question, what's the name of the captain whose ships Groo constantly keeps sinking? Stop complaining, I'm Captain Ahax. So Ahax is the answer. So far, I'm 2 for 2. Questions 3, 4, 5, and 6 ask who draws, who writes, who letters, and who colors Groo. Let's take a look in the Groo Chronicles for that answer. Although, do we really need to look up who draws Groo? It's Sergio. Mark is the chronicler, which doesn't necessarily mean writer. Stan is the letterer, and Tom is the colorist. So, I think I got 4 for 4 of those, and I'm 6 for 6 so far. How about you? Question number 7. Who is Groo in love with? Well, come on. Groo loves Chakal. Issue number 7 of PC Groo. She's so great and beautiful, a vision of loveliness. Once this fray is ended, I shall tell her of my love. There you go. And look at that. Theus is too young. And Bunta? We'll get back to this one later. Question number 8. Where did those hidden messages start? I said the Slavers, which was Epic Comics number 5, but I was wrong. It actually was in issue number 4, World Without Women. Look at this. GROOTHEWANDER, Groo the Wanderer. Even though it doesn't say the hidden message, there's your first hidden message. So I'm 7 for 8. Oh, look, it's issue 29 of Groo the Wanderer. The story is called Referto. Referto, Groo. There you go. They're together. Magnus, you tricked me. 7 for 9. Let's look at image number 9 to find out who isn't Referto's brother or sister. Page 11. Molefa, Chafeta, Puffeta, Referto, Arfeto, Simfeta. But no Moretta. So at least I got another one right here. Question 11. Who did Groo once marry? Groo number 42. You are now man and wife. Groo, kiss your bride. It's Bunta. Kiss your husband, Bunta. And what about Princess Letessa? Well, in the end, and do you, Prince of Chichester, take this woman as your bride? No. In the death of Groo, we find out who once kissed Groo. There she is. It's Silva. Gee, I thought he was kind of sweet. And look at that. A kiss on the nose. Groo, you sly dog. Question 13. Who taught Groo to read? Well, it was Abecedero from Groo issue 100. And that puts my score at 11 out of 13 so far. Let's keep going. Here's Epic 50. Let's find out Chakal's response to Groo's proposal of matrimony. Look at this. Groo asks, will you marry me? And her reply, Groo, you fly brain? But also, this reminds me, Chakal, will you marry me? Shut up and slay. And, well, maybe not quite directly, Chakal, I must ask you again, will you marry me? I would rather be trampled to death by rabid elephants, Groo. So I think you can give yourself a point if you answered anything but yes. Question 15. What issue did Melissa appear in, and can she read? You know, I was maybe thinking that this was Melissa. That's not Melissa. I said issue 26. Melissa's not in issue 26. She's in issue 27. The story is Spies. Let's get Melissa. Here she is. And can she read? She says she cannot read, but she reads. The answer to question 15, issue 27, Melissa can read. Here is Epic Groo number 17 with these Referto spotted piranhas on the cover. And inside, I was unable to find any reference to National Fish Month, the Piranha Club, or a collaboration between Marvel Comics, whatever that means. So I guess the answer is nothing. If you have more insight, please get in touch. For question 17, we're going to the life of Groo the Wanderer. What does the Groo family name mean? Ours is a proud name, my love. It means the cattle are dying. We'll just leave this right here for a moment. And I'm at 14 for 17 so far. Okay, when I was thinking about this, I erred big time, and when I was trying to explain it, I was making mistakes too. Here's the correct answer. The Swords of Groo. Groo is fighting for Fuchikaka. He gets captured by Sakisama's men. Sakisama has that Groo nose. He looks like Groo. He dresses Groo up to look like Sakisama. He gives him the swords to go into battle to fight for him. That is how Groo got his swords. He got his swords from Emperor Sakisama. That's the only right answer. My answer was way wrong. And even if it was right, it would have been wrong because I didn't know what I was talking about. Sakisama, that's where Groo got his swords. Let's pull the life of Groo the Wanderer back here, because right here towards the end we see the answer to question number 19. Groo received his pouch and skull from his father. Question 20. Baby Groo is born. The hut is aflame. The entire village is catching fire. What happens with the house that Groo was born in? It burns down on the spot. Everybody gets that one right. And for the answer to the last question, 21, Groo says you're a sapper. Are you a sapper? Epic number 19, Groo and the siege. Groo needs sappers to dig. We are not sappers, we are messengers. What are you, Groo asks. Sappers, we are sappers. I meant sappers. It just came out messengers. We are sappers, sappers we are. So that is not a stupid question. Yes, if Groo asks, I am a sapper. So how did you do, Groo friends? I'll score myself a 17 out of 21. Maybe didn't quite ace it, but perhaps I'm not a mendicant. A big thanks to Magnus Lindgren for writing this Groo quiz, and I hope you had fun playing along. Tell me how well you did in the comments and let me know if you think I erred. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on too, because I'll be back soon with some more GrooTube. Take care, everyone.